So I'm going to cash... What?
What's the nature of the lore you're cashing in?
Okay. Here's what it's about Aslan. I would like to know that if in any of that research I came across, I know that Aslan, everything within Darkon seems to be within his purview. He can see and hear things all across the land. What I'd like to know, is there anything I've come across that suggests there's a way to evade that detection?
So here's what you've learned about Aslan in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And before I tell you, make me an Arcana check, please.
Okay. That is a 16.
Aslan Rex is intrinsically and unavoidably aware anytime a creature crosses the mists into Darkon. From anywhere. He knows who is entering, and he knows things about them. It's just knowledge that is gained simply by virtue of him being the king. And in some of your research has been, is there a way around this? Is there a way to bring people in that can avoid this? And you haven't found anything. This feels to be part of, he and the land are one. A 16 on an Arcana check, what you've extrapolated is this must also be true in other realms beyond Aslan's reach. Like, I don't know if Evie's a betting woman, but if she were, putting money on Strahd having the same ability might be a good idea. And perhaps even Victor Mordenheim. You can't enter Darkon without Aslan knowing who you are, where you came from, where you entered, and maybe even what you're up to.
But after you're inside, he no longer has that kind of clairvoyance.
As far as you know, it only happens when you pass through the mists. It's like he gets a text notification on his phone.
Okay. So just talking about this stuff wouldn't necessarily get his attention as far as I know.
He might have an invisible scrying sensor in this very room.
He could.
I can't see invis.
He might have one of the servants outside might be one of his assassins in a skin suit.
There isn't one, but there might be a super invisible scrying sensor that you need see super invisibility for.
Okay.
No, that doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I think we're somewhat safe to talk about it without Aslan knowing we're talking about it. As long as we don't do anything that would get his attention.
So,
Do you summon in the rest of your party at this point?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, but Genie is going to be like, oh, okay, Zack will. Like, this is are you sure? Because this is a bell. Once rung, you can't unring it.
Once you know this, there's no going back.
As the rest of you come into the room, you see just in time to hear Zack Wheel say, to make my position on the subject very clear, from this point forward, I intend to bend all of my resources to the destruction of Aslan Rex.
Well,
House Veritas can either help me, or you can get out of my way.
Oh, that's not going to work well.
Mont's eyes go big when that's the first thing he hears when he walks into the room, and he's like, it's a very dangerous declaration to make.
Victor glares at Evie with a, what the hell did you say to him, look?
He shakes his head, says, if not for the works of Providence and your good nature, I would be dead now. Through no fault of my own, and entirely at the hands of this king.
So Jeannie's gonna start. She's gonna say, "I think you were killed, or attempt. I think the attempt on your life was made because you were an experiment that he decided to just cut early.
Abort.
I am a man, and a powerful one in the ways of magics at that. My creations in the art, you all have seen them firsthand. You know that I'm not a man to be trifled with. I am no one's experiment to be shunted aside.
Zack, we need to know.
Edmont gestures to the other 5 people in the room. He's like, "Who do you think we are?"
Zack, we need to know what you found in the lake. You obviously found something.
Hundreds and hundreds of things. He's been informed at this point that Ekon and Edmont have been granted access to his warehouse.
Yeah.
So the terms of his agreement with Evelyn was that he was given purview over the lake and was told that magic items tended to wash ashore here. Zack was allowed to take as payment for his services 1 item in 10. Zack says he has taken far, far, far fewer than that. There's just nothing worth taking.
But what did he take? Is Victor's question.
Nothing. That was the point. Like I guess you missed that. Like
He didn't find anything.
They came.
Anything at all?
They came. They looked.
What's the question? What did Zack take from the dredgings,
Yeah.
or what did the men from Castle Avernus take from the warehouses when they?
What did Zack keep for himself?
Well, he's got a small collection of magic items that he's happy to allow you to look over. He won't be granting you access to any of them. They're his things.
So
No.
The description, Victor, of what happened was they came, they looked through the stuff, they didn't find anything. They didn't even bother looking at what Zack had.
Correct.
The fact that Zack had the stuff was not hidden. They didn't even bother looking. They just left. So that to me that says that, well, this was a waste of time. Better cut instead of just letting this continue on, better to kill him and bring in a fresh guy, essentially.
Well, that's one possibility. The other is they had a way to know what he took, and they didn't want him to know what he had.
But then why didn't they take it?
Why didn't they take anything?
Maybe they were going to kill him first.
Because
tell
they
you what.
wanted to wait till he found it.
Why don't each of you roll me a D100 as Zack I mean, he's getting around on his crutch, and seems to be regaining strength day by day. But let's see what's in his collection.
Blue's gonna be high.
73.
Bear with me
That's
just 1
90.
second. I'm going to take the numbers one at a time here, starting with Treble.
I got a 14.
That's starting with Treble.
So, Treble, you got a 73?
Yes. A lug blade.
One of the things he took was a circlet of blasting. Do we need a description of what that is, or can your imagination put it together? What did McDohl roll?
22.
22?
Yep.
Another one of the items that he took, which he wears on his person, is an amulet of proof against detection and location.
Interesting.
What did Chris roll?
It'd be a 95.
95. One of the items he took, but has not made use of yet. Although he did consider putting it to use when he heard there was a rabble outside of his walls harassing his guardsmen, is a wand of fireballs. What did Saul roll?
14.
Saul, roll a d8.
Never good. D8.
Red ones.
Red ones or D8s?
Just one.
4.
One of the items he took from the dredgings was a figurine of wondrous power in the form of a pair of ivory goats. And what did Destil roll?
76.
76. Roll a d12, please.
All right.
Oh yeah, we get to roll all the dice.
5.
The last thing of import that he took was a suit of studded leather armor that has been very heavily enchanted. +3 studded leather.
Wow.
I'd like that.
He's not offering it to you.
I know. Still.
In addition to that, he shows you just a variety of smaller, valuable items of wands containing cantrips, minor knickknacks, things of minor enchantments. But those items are the big boys that he's pulled out of the dredgings. And he's been doing this for a couple of years. And most items are completely beneath his notice. We're talking just items of no particular use that just have trace amounts of magic still imbued in them from something in the past.
It sounds like he's found a lot more stuff than we have.
Right?
That's not necessarily true. We found
don't know
a
about
lot of
that,
bull
actually.
crap. The majority of what we found is tried to kill us, but that's because he's dredging a lake. We're going into the bowels of malicious trees.
He's finding a lot more items, but finding a lower percentage of useful items at less danger to himself.
Right.
You guys are finding fewer items, but a higher percentage of good ones at great, terrible danger to yourself.
Emotionally,
We haven't
physically.
found a +3 set of armor, I'll tell you that.
No, you haven't.
I don't think we've ever seen a +3 set of anything in any campaign I've ever played on this.
I'll be honest, it's been a minute since I've read through the DMG. I'm a little surprised there is a +3 anything in there.
+3 is the tippy top.
Yeah, that's like the best suit of leather armor ever made.
Yeah.
So what Ekon wants to do is he wants to try and he's not going to dissuade Zachiel from this endeavor or pursuit, but he is going to try and get more information out of him about the world he originally hailed from, what magic was like there, and basically he's just going to try and use this as an opportunity to get some information that might be useful for leaving as opposed to fighting. But under the guise that he's like interested in his thoughts on trying to fight and what knowledge might have been brought here from his world.
He's
First
a
question.
little more forthcoming about his previous life before coming here, but it's not anything extremely exciting. Basically, a spoiled princeling who is wise in the ways of some magics, had up-jumped ideas about his own abilities, and wound up taken by the mists.
Okay.
On a sailing voyage, and then he wound up here.
Okay, so here's what I say to him. I say, Zachiel, Aslan Rex cannot be killed. If you challenge him openly, you will be destroyed. There is no question of it.
Why would I challenge him openly? I'm not a fool.
Good.
So this
So
is
what is your plan?
Like, let me lay out what we've learned about Aslan Rex. And I guess Genie will start at the beginning. One, he is old. Like,
He's ancient.
he's like the ancient, like what we've kind of come out with has kind of led us to believe that he is a very old lich.
Old.
He's an ancient being.
We've heard somebody refer to him as the Ancient Dead. And when we asked how we could kill the Ancient Dead, how we could fight the Ancient Dead, the advice we were given was, don't. The Aslan Rex he's seeding people around his realm to gather magical items, might, things like that,
Nectar?
so that he can harvest us. That's his goal. Like, we have indications that he's using, like, we have semi-suspect information that the reason he is doing this is to power a machine so he can escape this realm and go somewhere and go wherever he's from. As for the reasons why he's doing this is the dangerous information. And this is your last chance to back out.
Oh, you can't tell Zachiel that you have dangerous information, then not tell him what it is.
He's like, Genie is going to whisper very, very quietly. He can't learn new magic.
That's
its own.
preposterous.
And Genie,
The youngest of
Genie
wizards can learn new magic.
something about this realm has cursed him. He can't learn.
How would that make you feel if that was your eternity? Cursed to be in a realm with vast, unimaginable amounts of magical energy and knowledge, and be unable to actually make use of any of it. How would you feel after the first couple of centuries?
Strokes his goatee for a second.
You'd want out. wouldn't
Honestly,
you?
perhaps I would take up politics. I feel like I would turn my attention elsewhere, not become obsessed.
I don't think Aslan has any other hobbies. He doesn't seem very interested in being king, I'll tell you that.
He confides in you that none of this information is making him less likely to want to destroy Aslan.
The thing is this is the second thing we found out. I don't think you can. And then I'm going to tell him the tale of how we ran into Victor Mordenheim and how the mists brought her back. I think that what will happen, Zack Whale, if you do manage to destroy Aslan Rex, I think he'll just pop back up a few months later.
We
That
killed
said-
Mordenheim. I saw her body. I saw the life leave her eyes. And yet now we have news.
So
that
much
she's
like
not
your
about
thought,
doing her thing again.
so much like your thought to just, take up politics. I think instead of attempting to destroy an immortal creature sustained by the very realm, you should maybe join us in trying to find a way to escape the realm and put it all behind us.
Well, hold on. Just because he can't be destroyed doesn't mean there aren't loopholes.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to side with Ekon on this one.
So you told him that Mordenheim was killed. You saw her die, and then over a year later, you got news, unsubstantiated news, as far as you can tell, that she was alive again.
and we'll also say that we've heard she's Van Richten, who is I'm assuming Van Richten is a reasonably well-known quantity.
Oh yeah, he's known to Zack Whale. I don't believe the two have ever met, but
Right. So
it's a name he would know.
Victor Van Richten told us that he had 3 other occasions where he had either direct knowledge or very trusted knowledge that she had died, and then she also appeared back.
But she didn't appear back immediately.
No.
She came back after a period of time.
What are you going to do if you do manage to kill Aslan Rex?
Seize his assets and infrastructure for myself. Then when he
And
reappears, he will have
you
none
know
of his
what you mean.
advantages.
I don't think this place works like that.
I got when we met Aslan, I got the distinct impression he did not really particularly care about the assets or the things that he had. They were just things that he had merely acquired. I got the distinct impression that nothing in Castle Avernus was all that important to him.
So what is the
Exactly.
proposal from House Veritas? Shall we sit back and wait for Aslan to cast us aside?
No. I think the best thing we can do, Zack Whale, is look for a way to leave the board. And if we can, on the way out, throw a wrench in his whatever plans he's got, which unfortunately we have very little information about, other than the direct information. I think, and she's going to tell him we're stuck here just the same as he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing you could do to smurf him off the most, is to not be here in the mists.
Leave.
You will have the thing he wants the most in the world that he can never have. The very fabric of this realm prevents him from having.
He finds this argument to be very persuasive. The
The
idea
alternative-
appeals to him.
Basically, the
You,
greatest revenge is living well.
Zack Whale, if you want to try and fight him, you're going to have to become a lich to match his power.
He
So
tells
you
you
should
there are
probably-
ways to destroy an enemy without fighting them. Fighting is a foolish and wasteful endeavor.
I think that if we can find a way to throw a wrench in his plans or set him back on our way out the door, we should take it. But again, I think the best, and Jeannie kind of clenches her hands and she says, "Nobody wants to see him destroyed more than I do." And she says in a very small voice, "He sold me to Victor Mordenheim." Like, that is a thing Jeannie will die angry about.
Evie will die angry about it too.
Like, he basically sold me as a commodity to a person in another realm who did horrible, unspeakable things to me, and I have my dead body in storage to prove it. If you need proof, I'm not 100% sure what we've done with my dead body, but it's
How is it being preserved?
There's magic that can do that.
Are somebody going down casting General Pose every day?
No, that lasts for 10 days.
Oh. That's a terrible chore to have. Like, whose turn is it to go cast General Pose?
But Jeannie hopes one day she can go back there, back to her body. She's just wrapped up like a mummy in a cold storage, in a cold room underneath the house, I guess. That's not going to bite us back in the...
If an opportunity presents itself, or Zack Wheel determines there's a particular move to be made, he will wait to make it, but until he consults with you first. Conversely, if you have a move that you find that could be made, he will make ready at your disposal his skills and assets here.
Evie nods.
Jeannie will says you're she goes, "What kind of magic?" I'm just going to outright ask him. What kind of magic are you cast? Is it arcane in nature?
He's a wizard, so yeah.
Yeah, basically I'm just getting confirmation that he is a wizard. Jeannie's going to reach into her...
He actually might be a sorcerer. I guess I don't know. One of the two.
I'm asking him right now. Like, are you...
I'm saying I don't know. I don't have a stat block for him. You weren't supposed to fight him, so...
We almost did, nevertheless.
Well, if he's a wizard, I'm going to pull that spell book I have out. The one with the stupidly powerful spells.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you should probably be a wizard then. I do have a notepad somewhere that has it written what class he is, but I forget if it was wizard or sorcerer.
He's a wizard now, right?
Okay.
I'm going to slap this book on the table and says, Merry...
Smurfing?
I was going to say Christmas, but I guess I don't know if we celebrate Christmas. Merry Smurf.
Belated Yule gifts. How about that?
Hey, here's your birthday and Christmas and Easter gift.
Where did you guys get this book from?
We got it. Oh God, that was so long ago.
I think it was the Frozen Lake. This is not something I authorized you to give away, by the way.
I did notice that Jeannie did not ask for permission.
She also didn't ask for anything.
There were like 3 spells in the book. Did anybody make a note of
Blade, Disaster, Time Stop, and Power Word Kill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are great spells to give to someone like this. There's no way that'll be abused.
Yeah, right.
And this artifact you're handing over is far and away more powerful than anything Zack Wheel has placed into his stores.
And you're just giving it away, but fine.
Give us the honor.
Wow.
Get him to give us the honor in exchange.
Like,
I mean, Zack Wheel
I
accepts
have
it.
absolutely no way to use this. Are any of you going to take levels in Wizard? If you're
17 of them, in fact.
Yeah.
Zack Wheel infers that you would not be giving him this book unless you'd already exhausted your means to make use of this book.
Legitimately, I've thought about taking 2 levels of Wizard just so I could do something with the book, but there's absolutely no way that, those are all 9th level spells, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna go through the books. I forget. Did we get? We got Darkwood to tell us what these spells were, right?
I forget.
Somebody
Yeah.
I think it was Darkwood because he's a wizard.
Is he?
Why not?
Yeah, Darkwood's like a wizard and a cleric and everything else, apparently.
He's a wizard, cleric, ranger, epic level multi-class or something. In my brain, we're all running on 5th edition rules, and he still runs on 2nd edition. I imagine.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. So the difference is in 5th edition, you can have 20 total class levels. So you can't be a level 20 in one class and level 20 in another. Whereas Darkwood is actually like a level 17 cleric, level 19 ranger or something. And that was before he started training as a wizard.
Yeah, so it's like
Zack Wheel hands Genie his circlet of blasting.
oh, well, thank you.
This is something that he has little use for in the terms of his engagement here at the lake. You could perhaps put it to better use than he can. In the meantime, he will begin studying the plumbing the secrets of this tome.
Yeah, he goes, that is probably the most powerful individual item we have found. Nobody has come looking for it. But
So in all this time, then, you're confirming that Aslan has not sent agents around to Silverbow to collect anything.
None that
Not
we've
that
been aware of.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe we're his next stop after you. Who knows? But this, I would not let it be known that you have this.
Well, he doesn't intend to.
And hopefully it'll help when the time comes for us to give Aslan a black eye.
Is Genie keeping this circlet, or are you passing it off to somebody else?
I'll hold.
It looks like it allows you cast Scorching Ray once per rest at a +5 bonus.
Well, Genie can't. Let me see if how many, because I think I've got 2 attuned magic items.
Oh, I'm not sure if this requires attunement. I didn't check.
It doesn't.
Oh.
I don't think.
I just had it open, but I closed my book because I'm terrible. No, this doesn't require attunement. You have to be wearing it. It takes an action. You cast a Scorching Ray spell. It doesn't even have a class restriction on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll wear it for now. We'll like determine, like, there's not really a good person to wear this, but I do have a limited number of spell slots, so that'll give me another shot to make. So yeah.
Okay. Anything else that we'd like to accomplish in Lake Rodef? Now that Zack Wheel is on the mend?
Yeah, Evie says, I think it's time to discuss formalized arrangement between our two, between your town and our duchy. Does he seem amenable?
He doesn't see why that arrangement needs to be revisited at all, but he's amenable to hear what you have to say.
I propose you become our vassal.
No, he's not interested in that.
Genie just gave him power word kill, so.
Just because you've been in a man's butt doesn't make him your vassal.
I think it does. I think in the dictionary next to vassal, like, there's a small, like, little, like, turn to page 278 for additional rules, and then it says if you've been in this man's butt, he is automatically your vassal.
But wouldn't we be his vassals since we're the ones who went up his butt?
Well, what I'm saying is we saved his life and he owes us.
Well, like, the thing is
And instead you have given away our most powerful artifact to him.
In exchange for nothing.
like,
Victor is very mad at you.
I've spent the last 2 years just being pen pals with this man. I have a general idea of how his brain works. And, like, he was wronged. And, again, like, we need allies. So, we got to...
You have gained Zack Wheel as an ally in any endeavors to leave the mists or to take action against Aslan, which is something you did not have before.
Yeah, I think that was the right move, because he is the only person we've met that I even remotely trust who could use the book.
Probably not high enough level to put the book to use, though.
I mean, he might find some use out of it. Who knows? I imagine that you'll be smart enough to figure out some benefit for Zack Wheel for using this book. But even if nothing comes up of it, nothing was going to come of me holding the book in my bag of holding anyway.
Okay, so here's what I say instead. Zack, I've noticed that you are quite clever with magical devices.
He likes the flattery.
Does he agree with that assessment?
Sure, you said something nice about him. He's going to agree with that.
If the time came that I needed to create a powerful magic device, I could count on your assistance.
He frowns at you.
He nods. He could offer whatever resources he has to hand.
Okay, Evie nods.
Genie is still frowning at you.
Evie has something in her back pocket she's working on.
I get that. Genie frowns at you. Sulks a little bit.
Anything else we're having to do in Lake Rhoda before we can take our leave of the place?
Maybe you should go. I'm going to tell him that, like, the other potential ally that we have. I say potential is. I'm going to tell him about Darkwood.
No, I don't want those two screams crossing. Then
Oh, you can assume that he knows who Darkwood. I mean, Darkwood's been living there for years. Darkwood has traveled across the duchy.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll assume they've met. I just really wanted the two of them to be in a conversation together that we could watch.
It's unlikely that they've met, as far as you know, but yeah, he would know who Darkwood is, and Darkwood would probably know Zack as well. I mean, do you ask if he's met?
Yeah, I'll ask him. Have you met Darkwood?
Darkwood has not seen fit to pay visit to the lake, and Zack has seen no particular reason to seek him out.
I mean,
Victor is going to ask Zack if he'd be willing to part with the armor, and if so, what it would take.
He thinks he's going to need that armor now that he knows that Aslan is trying to kill him.
I mean, fair enough.
You didn't even use it?
He's not wrong.
I'm sure that amulet is going to come really in handy, too.
yeah, he can't be. Yeah.
I didn't think we
those
could
amulets. He might learn.
He's not giving you the most valuable magic item he owns.
The most powerful magic item to ever appear in one of Brickrow's campaigns.
No, that's not true. Last campaign, McDohl gave away a luck blade, a +3 greatsword, and there was something else.
Why would you do
Don't
that?
fucking salty about that. Holy God, leave me alone.
We're not salty. I'm just saying, like, it's not the most powerful weapon to
Didn't
like things.
Destil start the first campaign with like a pair of gauntlets of ogre strength?
Yeah. Well, that was my character, but he died, and Dust was like finders keepers.
That is a legendary piece of armor. That is classified as a legendary magic item.
I just can't believe it. Like, even they didn't take that of all things.
I like giving legendary magic items to level 1 characters and just seeing what dumb stuff they do with them. And it's always dumb. So you part with Zack and Lake Rhoda on friendly terms. Victor
He has promised he's not going to do anything without talking to us first.
Yeah, he did.
Whatever that's worth.
So for whatever his promise is worth, you couldn't say. But you know that Zack is an intelligent man, and he knows it would not be smart to make a move without
himself,
allies.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to march up to Castle Avernus and ring the doorbell and start shaking his fists. That's more of a Darkwood move.
That's better. That's probably as good a situation that we can leave him in as it is. So I think we were fine there.
Everybody can take the benefits of a long rest.
Sure.
Destil.
Leaving Lake Rhoda the next day.
Hold on, I need half an hour here.
I just
After my long rest.
I just picture like the first all right, so can you give us details about like the first words out of Destil's character's mouth is like, hey, can you give us details about how your magic works? Is there anything that you can tell me, you can give me that will allow me to look at this man?
So Destil you can resist the fascination, but doing so you lower your wisdom or charisma by 1 point.
Is that permanent?
That's permanent and cumulative.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep
until
casting
the horror runs its course.
Oh, okay. How long? No, I have no idea how long.
You
this
have
will
no
last.
idea.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
we can
I've got. All right, here's where we're going. I've got a base charisma of 7, so now it's 6 after the first day.
Why are you doing it this today?
You don't have the ability to do it.
Well, the first day that I get my spells back.
Oh.
Well,
What do you do?
I'm just wondering like why you're
Yeah,
resisting.
what are you doing?
Victor is encouraging you to do it so we can find out if this guy's put on another suit yet.
I'd really rather not you hurt yourself over this.
Well, I mean that's what happened. So first day, second day, effectively because we didn't get spells back the first day. Yeah, Ekon resists the urge, and his charisma is now 6.
Okay.
Well,
So you travel out from Lake Rodef, returning to home with your spell slots intact, but you can't get it out of your head. You're just obsessed with the sight of it. I keep thinking of like Pippin peering into the Palantir.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Except instead of staring into the eye of Sauron, you're just looking at like torture porn laundromat.
Bad news. Sauron knows everything that Pippin knows. Good news. Pippin don't know Smurf.
Good news. I cannot not have scrying prepared.
Oh no! Part of the obsession is if you have the option to prepare scrying, you have to. Otherwise,
I don't have a choice. It's a domain spell.
It's several days' journey back to your village. I forget exactly how many days. I think we had
Like 8 or
established
9?
it was like, yeah, it was the furthest of the 3 villages. Actually, Saul made a map of like kind of the countryside.
Oh, it's 9 days. I have it in my notes.
Do you have Saul? Do you have that map to hand? Can you post that in the party chat?
1 second, please.
'Cause I forgot you had made that over our 17-week break that we just took.
Yeah, that was a really long 34 weeks.
There you go.
If you guys will talk amongst yourselves for a moment as I
So-
upload this and put it on the table.
Ekon, I notice you seem to be struggling a little bit. You okay?
Yeah. Just need, I feel like we probably need to not let that assassin out of our sight. Should probably have Air give me another look at it sometime.
I'm a little more concerned about the Hand of Fire making a comeback, because those guys were bad news.
Kristen knows about scrying sensors. He'd be warded against it, but this assassin guy.
Well, I'm worried that they're going to come and like burn our village down.
Well, then we'll kill them if they show up. It's fine. I think Ekon's right to worry about the assassin guy.
Plus, maybe I can find out. Like, maybe there's a pattern to their movements.
Well, for all
Thing
you
isn't
know,
human. It's not living. It's not an elf. It's not a dwarf. It's just
But-
a
but-
thing.
the assassin guy could have actually killed Kristen and taken his skin.
I didn't see a Kristen skin, but we should probably double check.
By the way, nothing is happening in the scrying sensor. Like nothing of interest. What it's always this guy just meticulously.
Is he like and he's a bug, not like an undead. He's not. He's more like a bug, right?
Like
Not
a bizarre skeletal demon creature that makes
Okay.
clacking insect-like noises as he moves about.
Can
Now-
you tell me what he's saying yet?
I do
Like,
like
you-
this image a lot, but it's a square image, which means it's not going to play well on the table.
I got a letterbox it, Saul.
I can make it in a different resolution, probably. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look that bad.
It's super chunky.
It is chonky. So,
we can
Saul, do you want to take
letterbox.
2 minutes and just give us a tour of the duchy?
Well, sure. So here in the center, you've got Silverbow. This is our city. Where's my clicker thing?
Ab.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Then, a couple days south of that is Alehurst. I have some of the major landmarks that we've encountered around our city, like the graveyard. Some jackass lives here. Then, a little ways further northwest, you've got the Great Tree. Way further north, you have the waterfall where we went to Lord Randus's realm. And over here, you have Barazar, Lake Rudolph, and the camp of the Keltistravi. And then far over here on the east side is where we found the train. And I think that's everything of note we've come across in the duchy.
More or less. Every other fun thing you found was outside of your purview. This is not how Keltostravi is spelled, but that's fine.
Okay.
It's canon.
I'll change it next time.
I like how he refuses to give us spellings for anything and then tells us that we're wrong. That's really a sign of a good DM.
What's really impressive is I don't think I've given Saul spellings for anything at all, and that's the only thing that's not spelled right. Like, he got Aelhurst. That's fine.
Well, I mean, you actually gave us a spelling.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so I'm revoking the credit that I just gave you on McDohl's insistence.
Okay.
I do appreciate that you have your the Veritas colors on all of the places you control, and then Lake Rudolph is like this cup.
Well, that's his symbol, I think.
Was it?
Well, he gave me a cup. He gave me a cup, remember?
I think it was mentioned that the cup is his symbol. I wrote that down at some point.
This map is not to scale in any conceivable way.
No, not really.
No.
I think it's probably much farther away.
It's just an artistic map.
Mhm.
Where's
Okay.
where's the man with the straw hat?
I don't think Edmont drew this.
No, Edmont didn't draw this map, so he's not here.
Yeah.
Actually, Victor probably drew this map, if anybody
Yeah,
did.
Victor would have drawn this map.
Yeah.
But he would have made sure the proportions were right.
Yeah, he would have got the scale right.
Okay, bear with me
What
just
I'm saying is
one
this
moment.
map is completely effing useless. I'm kidding. I love you.
I mean, if you assume one of these hexes is one day, I think it comes out to about right.
Yeah, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No,
Problem
a little
is the
further.
domains of Ravenloft actively resist being mapped. So just about
Yeah.
the time you get the map down, it is no longer.
That probably means that the best way to map something is to just draw it like this, where it's artistic and not to scale, right? Because that way it's not mapped properly. But that, I wonder if that's a loophole that would get around it. It's just
Bear with me just a moment.
while he's doing this, I do want to actually give a shout out to the other McDohl who spent his New Year's Eve playing with that AI chat program, and then he wrote he asked it for a prompt for a not a Ravenloft campaign. He did ask for a Ravenloft campaign, but he asked for a Planescape campaign where the PCs meet Master Chief.
Oh my god. He's not even playing in the campaign and he's still trolling me.
He asked for where the purpose of the campaign was to find the true origins of the Lady of Pain, but he wrote 3 rules. You can't find the origins of the Lady Pain. I forget the second one, and the third one was, and the players must meet Master Chief from Halo.
Jesus.
And it was this 2-page long outline of a campaign. It was great.
This is in our village.
Hello.
So here's a nice convenient spot where you guys are stopping for the night.
This is where we found the choo-choo train.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the map.
We'll say this is 3 days into your journey. So Ekon, go ahead and resolve 3 days worth of being horrifically fascinated.
I'm gonna cast the scrying each day.
Okay.
Once after I wake up, once at lunch, and once at dinner when we break for camp.
Okay. So you've just finished your evening meal. The sun has gone down. You're camped here for the night. The weather has been very pleasant the whole way. Go ahead and arrange yourselves however you're going to want to be in this camp.
I'm assuming we're about to just have a nice, restful, peaceful night.
Yeah, of course. Why would you think otherwise?
I'll be next to Jeannie. I love Jeannie.
I don't know. Genie's kind of mad at you
Why?
because
Shouldn't you camp against a wall instead of in the middle? I feel like camping in the middle is a stupid idea.
Well, I thought this thing I'm leaning against is a wall. Is this water?
No, it's just ground.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just
Elevation.
slight elevation, like a slight slope or something.
Okay, well, where do you want to be, Victor?
Like
What?
over here.
Just Victor's over there by himself.
Remember what happened last time you went off by yourself?
No, he wants everyone to come with him, so we're not just in the middle of the wilderness.
It's fine.
That still
Like
counts
over
as the
here
middle of the
somewhere?
wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the
Being
thing
up,
is,
being up on a hill isn't a bad idea, though.
like I think we're fine. We can see everybody coming.
Can you? These look like cliffs around us.
There's not
Yeah, like-
much of a road to speak of through here, but you kind of can see the shape of a road passing through here. It's just not very often used.
How about over here, like on a little clearing off the road, right?
All right. Like this.
Like a camp. There's like a little camp area off the road here.
Somewhere that's easily defensible.
That's nowhere.
You would think that we've accounted enough stuff. We're not just going to be open to attack from all sides.
Looks like you're open to attack from all sides from everywhere on this map.
Yeah.
It's almost like I selected this map for a particular purpose.
I mean, if we're up here on the cliff,
You could be up on the cliff. Just not a very comfortable looking spot for a camp.
We can't. Like Ekon can't even like dig down in the ground and like build a bunker. He used all his spell slots on scrying.
In theory, you should be able to build us a house.
Hey, so you guys have a
I
fire going? Or?
I've got 4th level spells.
Ekon and Edmont, are you where you want to be?
I just never mind.
Where do you want to be, McDohl?
I'm fine right there.
Where do you really want to be?
Okay. Now,
Home painting right now.
let me look
There's
up
our
some
s'more.
ranges. Ranges are good. So we have a light source. You guys have a fire going.
Yeah.
Do any of you have
that's right.
innate dark vision?
No.
No, Edmont has to cast it.
I mean, would
What
you
am
if
I?
you're just about to camp for the night anyway?
The owl should be with me.
No. Not unless he was setting up for watch, which I imagine.
Well, my
The
owl
old-
has dark vision for whatever that's worth.
Okay. That's
Sure, yeah, my familiar would be out soon.
so. How many familiars are out?
Just mine, I think.
And mine.
Or, okay.
EVs and Ekons? Something distressing happens just about the time you guys are about to tuck in. Whoever's about to take first watch is setting up, getting comfortable. And both of you, within 10 seconds of one another, your familiars are destroyed.
I'll mark off the incense.
I don't think we do that anymore. I think didn't your greenhouse solve the incense problem?
Well, yeah, but you're no.
No, it just
Yeah, but
made it.
We currently don't have access to the green.
It's not infinite incense, and some of these other spells cost thousands, so.
Okay.
So you had your birds out to scout. They were kind of doing wide circles of the area. Give me a... Actually, let's just call it passive perception. What's the highest passive perception amongst the group?
Got a 19.
Ekon has a 19.
18.
I think that's the best we got right now.
Yeah.
Ekon. Far to the south over here, up in these hills, you think for just a moment you see a spark or a flash of light, just a pinpoint of orange for a moment. It didn't burst, it didn't create any sound, but a split second later, Evie reports that her owl has been killed.
And then a split second later, Lux is gone.
And now everybody can give me a perception check in order to see if they can see where Lux goes down.
That's a 17.
Can anybody beat a 17?
Yeah, that's a
Hide it.
20,
20?
I got
23.
18.
So, Victor. There's a tense few seconds when Evie says that her familiar is gone. Ekon mentions that he saw the spark off in the distance. Everybody's on the lookout. Victor, you see a second spark, just for a split second, up to your north. And then Ekon reports that his familiar is also gone.
God damn it, guys! I told you we should have camped on the hills. Victor points out where it was.
Let's roll some initiative. I mean, I would have got you on the hills anyway. It's fine.
Oh, look, there's my natural 20. What a waste.
Well, fine. Don't have fun. Ever. No fun ever.
Starting 2023 off right. Complaining about D&D. Everybody's favorite.
Just kidding. I love you.
Oh, I know. Thanks.
I was talking to Chris, not you.
Oh, you don't love me?
No.
I love you too, McDohl.
Dang. Feel unloved. All right. Who's at the top of my order?
I apologize for Burks.
First up, we've got Victor at 25 with Edmont on deck.
So, Victor, you have the general idea of where two of those sparks just lit up off in the distance. Both were up in the hills surrounding your clearing. One to the south and one to the north.
Okay. I'm sure they're gugs, so
12 gugs suddenly show up.
so we're gonna move. So we're gonna move over to the more shadowy, harder to see part.
Well, there's thick trees all around. So if you're over there, you're underneath a tree line.
Very good, especially if these things are up ahead shooting down familiars.
Okay.
And then I guess we will dodge.
Okay.
And I can't see anything to really bonus action on.
I mean, you can see the bright light from your fire here.
Yeah, but I can't see them to hit it with a hunter's mark or anything.
That's a s'mores campfire.
Yeah. It's campfire for s'mores.
All right, who's next?
Next up, we've got Edmont with Ekon on deck.
Let's see. 2 key points. Invisibility.
Okay.
And then, let's see. My movement is...
Is that required action, or is that just spend key points?
That's an action.
That's an action.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an action. So, 2 key points invisibility, and then I have to find my character sheet because I have like 8,000 tabs open. Don't know why either.
Anytime I see somebody with like hundreds of tabs open, like I get anxiety. I only ever have
Me
like,
too.
5
Me too.
at most. I can't handle more than that.
Yeah, no, I exaggerate. It's 5 tabs, but I can't operate those tabs to save my life. 'cause
Even
some
5
of them
is
have
pushing it.
sub-tabs. Some of them have sub-tabs. It's really distressing.
There are YouTubers that I watch that just capture their like Google Chrome window, and it's like that 400 tabs across the top of the screen,
I don't know how people live that way.
living their dirty life.
I don't know if I've updated my movement speed because I'm pretty sure it's 50, but I just wanted to double check. Yeah, 50. Okay. So 50 feet of movement. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And I'm still invisible.
I believe it's pronounced invisible.
No.
Yeah, let's go ahead and spend a key point to Step of the Wind and get another 50 feet of movement.
Okay.
30, 35, 40, 45, 50 gets me there.
I like how you're going around instead of just climbing up the wall.
Might not want to be up on the wall. Is that it for Edmont?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Invisible in that position. Who is next?
Ekon with red token on deck. Could you please tab where those sparks were?
There was one down in the hills here. That's the one that you saw. And then there was one up in the trees to your far north. That's the one that Victor saw.
And it's nighttime?
It's nighttime, yes. So outside of the radius of your fire pit, you can just assume it's darkness all around.
Daylight.
Okay.
So that's the bright light. There's another dim light that extends twice as far.
Yep.
And that's an action.
And it brightly illuminates the whole area as though the sun were shining upon it. So you can see through the whole area now. The occlusion is the thickness of the trees and the foliage. Other than that, you'll have no difficulty seeing in that area.
And Ekon's going to move a bit into the light.
Okay.
That's the end of his turn.
And who's
We've
next?
got red token with Evie.
Ekon, you begin approaching into the light at the base of this cliff. You hear a voice shout from above. Glory to the hand of fire and the enemy of the one true God. A man breaks through the tree line at the top of the cliff, maybe 20 feet above you, throws open his robes to reveal his bare chest, throws his head back in a mixture of agony and anguish, and then his stomach bursts open and a fireball explodes outward. Let's get a dexterity saving throw from Ekon, Evie, Genie, and Orson, please.
This is not the kind of magic they teach in Pernisco.
That is
Disagree.
9.
Using my reaction to re-roll this.
it's a 21 from Genie and a 9. Oh, excuse me, a 10.
DC is 13.
Well, Orson failed.
Okay. It's
Ekon
going to be
failed.
Exactly the kind of shit that the Hand of Fire was doing back
Evie
then.
26 points of fire damage.
Thank God I have evasion now.
As a fireball bursts forth out of this man, explodes on top of your own campfire. And the man's charred and lifeless body just falls forward afterwards, slumps to the ground. You hear another voice call from up behind you, up on top of this cliff. Glory to the hand of fire! Death to the enemies of the one true God! I need Ekon, Evie, Genie, and Orson to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 4.
18.
That is 2 passes.
23 points of fire damage, which you can cut in half on a successful save.
Evie takes none.
11.
And then
I'm bloodied.
the sound of breaking branches as this man's lifeless body falls forth off the cliff into the tree line. Victor,
Yeah.
from beyond the trees above your head, on the cliffs above, you hear a woman's voice cry out. Glory to the hand of fire! Death to the enemies of the one true God! And a fireball explodes right next to you. Dexterity saving throw from Victor. And only Victor, because there's nobody else around.
That's an 18.
25 points of fire damage.
Does the 18 pass the save?
Oh yes, it's only a 13.
Okay, then thank you, evasion.
And then this woman's dead and badly charred corpse crashes to the ground just next to you.
Nudges it with a foot and says, unimpressive.
These are suicide bombers.
Edmont,
Sir.
from high up on the cliffs behind you, you hear another man call out, Glory to the hand of fire! Death to the enemies of the one true God! You're invisible, so he doesn't throw a fireball in your direction. He doesn't even know you're there. So
Yeah.
let's get a saving throw from the 4 jabronis around the campfire again.
19. Evie takes no damage.
That is a fail from Orson, but a pass from Genie.
13 again, so fail.
A 13 passes.
Oh, no, I mean, I got a 12.
Okay.
If the DC's also 13.
Yeah, DC's 13. 27 points of fire damage from that one.
Oof. Orson
then
has 1 hit point, guys.
This man
Oh.
tumbles
Oh.
forward, dead and lifeless, crashes to the ground near to Edmont. And then
I'm at 9.
the night falls silent again. just the sounds of crackling and smoldering fire.
Victor yells out, "What the Smurf was that?"
And that's where we will end our session for the week.
How much experience were these guys worth?
None. You didn't kill them.
Which does that counts?
They tried to kill us. I feel like it should count.
Lots of things have tried to kill you, but you didn't get experience for it.
We killed
but
them
they
by
died.
means of being here. Our very presence was enough to kill them.
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and post a straw poll in our chat so people can vote for who to blip us today. I don't know where my chat is or how to... Is this it? I guess this is... I'm going to paste it here and see what happens. Yeah, that's my chat. All right. I don't know Twitch's interface anymore. They changed the layout of a bunch of stuff after I stopped using it all the time, and I didn't bother to learn. So, okay, I'm going to go dark for just 2 minutes, guys. If you want to start thinking about some blips, I'll be right back.
Who was most creative today?
And a fire.
Let's see. That was. I'm gonna give that one to Ekon for having the for utilizing the foresight. He basically, let's have a folding mirror in the bag of holding, and that came in handy, even though it caused him to have a horror check. I can't think of anything else. Sorry.
Nah, that's fine. I was gonna go with Ekon for creatively embracing his obsession.
All right, who furthered the party's goals the most today?
I'll say Genie on that one.
I'm gonna give it to Edmont for finding the goat.
I probably would have given it to Genie.
I was gonna say Genie for getting Zack Will to be an ally.
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
he was a badass.
Ekon for just getting roasted.
We all just got roasted.
I think
Ed,
Well, I-
guys don't look at explosions.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I want to give it to Edmont for being the only person to walk away unscathed.
The
from
sense just walk away from this bullshit.
Victor didn't take any damage.
Edmont is literally just walking away from explosions here.
Anybody watching who wants... Sometimes I get asked for like advice, like, oh, how do I run a good D&D game? This is how. Just throw 4 fireballs at the players out of nowhere for no reason. That's how it's done. I got new dice for Christmas, too. I got these nice set of metal dice. And the D4 is literally just a caltrip. It is literally... If you ever stepped on it, you would die.
Yeah, the D4 in my metal set is kind of rounded, so it's not as dire to step on.
That's how
like,
I
if
would
you-
make one if I were... But no, these people...
Just sharp. You just get a file and
murder.
sharpen it.
It's not
I
just
have,
sharp, it's like on purpose sharp.
I have 12s that are labeled 1 through 4 3 times.
Yeah, there you go. That won't destroy your foot so much. I don't roll the metal dice anyway because usually we're rolling them on a wooden tabletop, and that's I don't want to damage a
Yeah,
tabletop.
I have a fold out dice tray for that kind of situation.
You only destroyed one actual monster
Mm-hmm.
to get some experience, and it wasn't that big of a monster either.
I took like 60, 70 damage.
Because we were microscopic at the time, so no, it wasn't a big monster.
Everybody has 150 experience from the final encounter with the girl in the body.
Completion bonus?
I'm going to award everybody 1 blip for successfully navigating the situation with Zack Wheel and then leaving things as an ally.
You're welcome.
You all had to work pretty hard to...
I don't know. I think Genie has a good measure of him. It's like, yeah, no, like the best solution, right? You can't conceivably do anything meaningful to this guy like permanently. The best way to like get revenge on him is to have the thing he wants most in this life. And that's to not be here in Darkon.
All right. Who wants to make a case for some blips today?
Turn it into a Destiny's Child song.
I can, I guess.
Victor.
For alignment, whatever it takes, that would be choosing to put the salt in the hole instead of trying to kill a ghost in that final room.
So, if you had dropped the final salt before killing the monster, which was always in the cards because you didn't have a lot of information on which to prioritize, like it would have put her into her death throes. I would have split her into 3 monster and given her 3 final screams against you.
So we could have gotten 3 times as much experience?
No, you would have got the same amount of experience.
Genie would have died.
Took like 60 points of damage. From
And that's also not, I designed the adventure with the intention of fighting that monster in the big room with the 3 pools and having to chase her back and forth, having left her nowhere else to retreat to. And then, I think towards the end of planning, I'm like, but what if they do the dungeon out of order and fight her somewhere else? I'm sure it's fine. And that's the extent to which I thought about it.
That was actually a very awkward. It was kind of an anticlimactic room to have it in, but it was also very awkward. Because there was, lava, and you got
There was lava inside this man's body.
She mind controlled Orson, who tried to throw Victor into the hole.
That was always probably going to happen.
My intent was to throw key points at Orson until he got stunned, but that apparently wasn't in the cards.
Put the +3 studded leather on him. Victor, what else you got for me?
So seek the truth from out of the cost for the ideal. That would be encouraging Ekon to continue watching the creature so we can see it changes shape.
Victor is also fascinated, even without having failed a horror check.
And then the flaw values knowledge over people. That would be going and rummaging through Zack Whale's house. Which I forgot to ask about the viewing pane, sadly.
Probably best you didn't talk.
Probably.
I mean, you've played Myst. You remember those cool underwater windows?
Yeah, I figure he just has a mermaid girlfriend hanging around who he goes and chats with down there.
She just rolls up sometimes. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Genie.
All right, so we have my alignment neutral. Try to be better than I was yesterday for the rank explanation. This is what's going on. This could be very dangerous for you to know. Whereas I think before Gene would have been like, yeah, whatever. It's I don't care about your safety. Just here's this information. Now help us. Jeannie was trying to. She's basically, instead of emulating Ruby and her father, she's trying to emulate the better, more level-headed people, the more positive people in her life, like Ekon. So anyway, my ideal practical solutions to impractical problems. Listen, we all have beef with this immortal lich, but he's an immortal lich who, not only on top of being an immortal lich, the very land we're in ourselves keeps bringing him back. You can't kill him. So the best thing we can do is just get the thing that he wants most for ourselves and flip in the middle finger on our way out the door.
Okay.
And my flaw, don't worry about it, was just a setback for. I had something for that, and it's left my brain. So, in the interest of keeping things moving quickly, I will skip that one and then the video.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Edmont.
I have my flaw. This world is filled with predators and prey, and I sure as hell am not the prey for going off on his own to track down to follow this guy's trail.
Oh, which guy? The goat guy?
Yeah, the goat guy. The skin man.
The skin man.
I got
chase that guy down into an empty field. That'll go great. Life is my canvas, and I will make my mark on it for taking sketches of the place where Edmont is or Ekon has been obsessively scrying. And my alignment, lawful evil, blood runs thicker than water, my own blood thicker still. I had fully had intended to just be out here so I can get the drop on whoever was going to throw an ambush at us. But I didn't take a lick of damage in this last encounter, so I think I am very happy with how things turned out.
Well,
So
if neither of you had noticed that they were there, it would have just been the familiars would have just vanished, and then all of you would have eaten 4 fireballs.
Yeah.
Orson is very on fire right now. He's got 1 hit point left.
Oh, okay, good. So when I ambush you at the start of next session, I got a
Yeah.
chance. I have to hit him first, though, so probably not.
Well,
Who wants to go next?
Well, you clearly discovered Orson's kryptonite is 4 fireballs.
Yeah, dex saves. I already knew that.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
he passed 2 of them.
I can go.
Ekon.
I've got Lawful Good, the Shining Words of Air, lay down a path for us all for casting Commune for Zachiel's benefit.
Okay.
I have Ideal, we'll make it out of here some way for pumping him for information about his own world, and also trying to convince him that he should escape from us instead of going on a suicide mission to kill the Lich. And I have Flaw, I'm sure there has to be something good just over this next hill for continuing to watch through his scrying portal as the horror unfolded.
This show's gonna get good after season 3.
Yeah. We're in the middle of the filler arc right now.
But stop watching at season 8.
Pick back up in season 12. It gets good again.
And then it leaves Evie. What does Evie have for me?
Alignment, chaotic good. I will do my duty, but I will always be true to myself for inquiring about the construction of the magical stasis mirror. Ideal, I must become a leader or others can believe in for attempting to win Zachiel's alliance. Flaw, no one understands for Genie giving away our most powerful artifact.
That none of us can use.
The bargaining chip, and you didn't bargain with it.
We didn't need to bargain anymore. He's on our side.
+3 armor.
And the map, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna make that +3 armor come to life, and you guys have to fight it, and it'll be impossible to hit.
You probably are.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
We gave that to Ekon for having built a folding mirror as a focus for scrying.
Probably a really good idea, to do that, because now he can just cast scrying while he's traveling and get his 30 minutes a day of his new favorite reality show. Who did the most to further the party's goals?
Gave that to Genie.
For once again proving that she's probably a better politician than Evie. And it is probably closer in temperament to Ruby than her sister.
Evie has too much blood for politics. Who was the badass?
That was Edmont.
Or just walking away from an explosion.
With sunglasses on.
Oh, guys, don't look at explosions.
I desperately tried to think, is there any circumstance under which I can explode Edmont here? And I just didn't see a way to do it. With these guys' stat blocks. There's no possible explanation for how they saw the invisible man walk away from the fire. We have one for intangibles.
We can give that to Evie for trying, I guess.
Trying what?
Trying to make sense and failing in the face of Genie.
No. I actually would like to give that one to Victor for he's alive. All right, I'm gonna immediately go and just root around his house and start looting and seeing if there's anything to loot.
In Victor's defense, he didn't loot anything.
I was gonna say, yeah, okay, but so if we only gave blips for things that were successful, right?
I mean, he found his cool mermaid room in the basement.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Awarding it to Victor.
Yeah.
And Edmont.
Oh, and then I forgot to mention initiative.
Edmont has our straw poll. Ekon
Hey.
kept initiative. All right. What are blips currently worth? That's an excellent question. We're up to what, level 12?
I think Saul is the highest, still has the highest experience count, but I am level 12. Yes,
Okay.
I'm 12.
Blips are worth 666.
that sounds right.
Mhm.
Okay, Edmont, you had 4. You just earned 6, so you're rolling over at least 2. I'm sorry. Do I have that? Hold on. I mathed wrong. Yeah, you have 4. You just earned 6. So you're
6,
rolling
so
over
I
at
need-
least 4.
4, yeah.
Should I come in next week with 6?
Let me do some math and I can tell you.
Okay. Ekon, you have 6, and you just earned 6.
I think I'm rolling them all over. I can't imagine I'm not, because I just leveled up.
Okay. Evie, you have 6 and earned 5. Jeannie, you have 6 and earned 5. Victor, you have 6 and earned 5. So those are all getting rolled over.
Yeah, I'm coming in next session with 6.
Okay.
Okay, looks like everybody's coming in next session with the full Monty. So what I should probably do is throw way, way more of these kamikaze cultists at you. I got Orson down to 1 hit point with just 2 fireballs? That's crazy.
No, there was. You hit it. You hit us with.
Yeah, he got 3.
We got 3.
He ate
Yeah.
3 of them.
Everyone except Victor and
Oh, that's right. You guys got 3. Victor
Edmont
got
got 3.
1. Edmont got none. All right. Well, when we come back next week, we will pick it up right here in this exact moment when Orson has 1 hit point, and I will do everything in my power to finally kill him.
This one, like Christian's gonna walk in through the flames and just like flame strike the whole area.